Nancy Burt-Preece here, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Here is all my contact information. Please take a screenshot. Today I am casing a card from Wendy Lee. If you have not watched Wendy Lee, you need to. She is just a really creative demonstrator. Here's all the, if you want to take a screenshot of this, I'm featuring some Vellum projects in my technique class this coming weekend. And so I thought it was really fun to actually have the card base be vellum. But Wendy had great ideas on how to hide your adhesive because that is tricky on vellum. So I'm going to start with 5.5 by 8.5 vellum. I'll show you how we're going to score it. Then I have a 4.5 by 3.5 basic white. I have a 4 by 5.25, and I didn't put that quarter on there, and that is important, of Designer Series paper. I'm using the Nature Symphony bundle. Then I have a 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 DSP. Then I have a 3/4 by 3 3/4 textured specialty paper, which is really neat. A 3 by 4 basic white, a 1 7/8. Oops, this is the 1 7/8. I have the wrong. This one is the, where'd my other DSP go? Right there. 2 3/4 and 3 3/4 is this DSP, textured DSP, and this is the 1 7/8 by 3 3/4 DSP. Already did that white. I have pecan pie for a die cut, and this is from the Stylish Shapes. So let's put this together and show you how to do it. The way Wendy did it was just great, so I tweaked a couple things, but not much, because she just did it great. I am going to use my paper trimmer to score, and I'm going to use about the lightest touch on the score line. I'm hardly pushing. Because if you push too hard, I want to show you, because I did push too hard, and I want to show you that it can crack and rip. You can see a rip is coming through on my vellum. I'll save this for using vellum at a different time, but you don't want to do that. So I have a score line. It's very, very light, and I'm going to just match up the edges on both sides. Match them up as close as I can. And if you come to my class, I will have a score line, but once again, I'm going to make it light so that it doesn't rip. Okay, and then when you're happy, you can really push it down. And you've got your card base. Now, the next thing that she did is I decided not to write. She had writing on the inside, but it was neat because I'm using this Nature Symphony, and I love that little image, and I think it actually kind of adds some texture on the inside. If you come to my class, that's a total preference, whether you choose. I'm going to use the pecan pie and just add a little texture there, just some interest. And I'm going to go ahead and not worry about where I'm putting this this adhesive, because I'm going to be covering it up in a minute. All right, so I'm going to open my card and try to find, this is probably the hardest part, try to find where it is lined up. Looks like it's lined up pretty good. Now I'm going to turn my card closed, and sometimes you get a little fluffy part there. I can either put this on the back, which is what I did this time. I had that on the back and that kind of showing through on the inside, which I like. That was my preference. It is double-sided paper, so you can do whatever you choose. I'm going to adhere it like this. So once again, I have this part on the outside, but here's how I'm going to adhere it. I'm only going to put adhesive on this part on the inside in that white. And I'm going to be pretty generous. You notice I went all the way around and I did some inside. And I'm going to line this up as best I can. And there you go. That's the back of our card. And it shows through so pretty, I think. Now, let's get the front of our card. We're going to take the smaller white and we're going to, I'm trying to get all my parts and pieces here. We're going to adhere. You know, I always start out with a clean stamping space and then it doesn't take long to get it a mess. See, I lost one of my pieces of designer series paper. Well, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this one on, and I might have to cut another one, although I think I have one cut just right here. I can grab it. I'm going to give it a kind of line it up on all sides, and I'll just grab a piece because I'm cutting for a class. And I'm going to just put this one here. I love the dimensions that she came up with. I just think they're really pretty. And I love this paper from this bundle. It's just from this suite, I should say. It's really, really quite pretty. Now, what she did is she lined this up using this back white. Once again, oops, I already did something wrong. She popped it up, so I'm not going to because I already forgot. So I'm going to put this one flat. You can pop it, not pop it. It really doesn't make a difference. As long as you line it up so that it looks like it's right nicely. And if you have a little of that underneath, I think that's kind of cool, frankly. Then I'm going to open it up. Now, the adhesive doesn't show too badly, but just in case, I'm going to take some of this paper, and for the people that are coming to my class, I will have it cut so you have a choice. But I took the one that I don't have a choice. I'm going to line this up. Just covers any adhesive, and it just gives a little kind of fun edge in there. I'm going to use Thinking of You from Friendly Foliage. She made this sounds terrible. She made this a card for a mail, which I don't mind, but I really need some Thinking of You cards. So I thought this is a pretty elegant Thinking of You card. So that's how I'm going to use it. So I am going to pop this one up, and I'm using little pop dots. We have the minis. I'm going to put 4 on there. Now, I want it to go over a little bit, but I want to make sure the pop dot doesn't, because I don't want that adhesive to show on the back. So when I'm putting it on my card, I'm going to have to make sure that I know where my pop dot starts. And I might put that down a little bit, right there. And then I'm going to just put a little bit of this. I am going to let it kind of, see, this one's kind of dancing a little bit. So I'm going to let this one dance a little bit. And I'm only going to put a little bit of glue. Let's kind of get a sense where I'm going to put it. Just kind of here. Not a lot, just enough to hold it on the card. Just little dots of glue. Isn't that a beautiful card? And it's fun because how often do we think of using vellum as the card base? And it just is a gorgeous card that you would want to give to anyone. The other things she mentioned, and I thought was a great idea, you could even use a clear envelope if you chose. So just a really pretty vellum card and cased from Wendy Lee. I hope you like it. Have a great day.